guides to free activities, games, and amazing forest facts. Give the magic of the outdoors to your kids and reconnect with your family. Find a forest near you at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
58777. Free consultation, 702-625-8777. You won't hit voicemail. You'll reach a team that's ready to help. Lasso Injury Law, built on purpose, driven by results. He fights for you. LassoInjuryLaw.com. He's our lawyer. He's fantastic. Go get him out.
Cashing out with Dustin Sweetelson.
Bill Belichick's having to evaluate talent in a way he's never done it before. There are not guys that play winning football that are good enough to compete at an ACC program right now for North Carolina. When you look at this team, the win total of 7.5. I am not being prisoner of the moment. I am not overreacting. North Carolina doesn't have the groceries to hang with everyone else at the supermarket right now.
Cashing out, Saturday through Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll spend some time here talking college football, week number 2, teams that could be on upset alert. Are you in the Westgate College contest?
No, I didn't do it.
I went to.
Good job. They got over 1,000 people, though.
They did. I went 4-3 in week 1. That'll move the sticks occasionally. It's not going to win the contest by any stretch, but that'll move the sticks to have a 4-3 once in a while. Tonight, we get James Madison playing at Louisville. Here's why I'm asking you the question. The game kicks off in about an hour and 15 minutes. In the Westgate contest, Louisville's 13. Right now on the betting board, and this number has been all over the map.
Yeah.
I'm seeing 14.5, 15, 15.5. I saw our buddy Richie Bachelari yesterday, who has been in this racket for a long time, helps all the numbers here at Circa. He told me that anything 14 and above, especially 14.5, is worth a bet on James Madison. He likes the dog. I'm going to go one deeper here. Should Louisville be on upset alert?
Nope, can't get there.
Okay.
Can't get there. I think there'll be a lot of points scored tonight, but interested to see what your cousin looks like. And also this James Madison team that some people jumped on, not only before the season, but after the Boise performance against South Florida to make the playoff.
Well, I'll tell you what.
About 10-1, yeah.
If you got a playoff ticket on this team and they win tonight.
Well, hello.
I mean, 10-1 goes to what? 2-1? 4-1?
Well, I don't know. The AAC, yeah, that'll certainly help. Also, it depends what Louisville does the rest of the season. But I agree with the Bear that probably the playoff team will be from the American. Richie B likes Jacksonville State. I bet Liberty. He does?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when he said it. He said he was really impressed with what they did last week.
Okay.
Are the Flames on upset alert?
Yeah, they were a major disappointment last year. They had some horrible losses. My God, they lost to Kennesaw State.
Yep.
So I could see that. That could be in play. Yep. It's a tough week, though, because you got so many cupcake matchups, so you have big point spreads, and then also games where the line isn't that big. So it's kind of hard to I'm surprised that the NC State line is so small. Now, Virginia was impressive against Coastal, blew them out, but NC State at home only 2.5. Virginia taking money. NC State was up 17 rip against a good East Carolina team, and then a horrible second half. They were fortunate to get out of there with a win. That was the 4th and 1. They throw it short of the sticks. But Van Pelt took the points, and he's like Thule. All 10 picks were dogs.
Yeah.
But I think that's an overreaction too much on Virginia here with the short line. I read
people making the case at VSiN on Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good game, though.
That should be. It's probably one of the better games that we have the entire weekend.
Right. Some Baylor money, too. SMU down to 2.5 in some spots now.
I kind of want to bet Baylor to win the game outright.
Yeah.
I kind of want to bet him on the money line. I just, in my head, you can improve a lot from week 1 to week 2. And Iran is a defensive guy. I don't know how much longer we can actually say that about the guy, because week 1 was so bad and they had no solution whatsoever for Jackson Arnold and that Auburn offense. But let's say that they do, correct some things here on defense. I think SMU is going to have problems slowing down the Baylor offense.
I would think.
By total 63.5.
Yeah. Not a lot of respect, though. You're at home and you made the playoff last year and your quarterback's back.
but
And how bad they look defensively, you're right.
But again, we saw money on Baylor last week.
Yes.
So the betting market is higher on Baylor than, you know.
Please stand by for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network on the Live 365 Network and the Live 365 app.
Friday nights are hockey nights. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From Printscape Arena in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, the United States Hockey League is proud to present the first game of the preseason for your Youngstown Phantoms tonight. They take on the defending Clark Cup champion, Muskegon Lumberjacks. Welcome into Cannonsburg, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Lipsack, voice of the Youngstown Phantoms. Pleased to be bringing you the action this evening on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey. Back here for year number 10, if you can believe that for me. 300 USHL games under my belt, getting ready to do game 301 here tonight. Well, for the Phantoms, they had an outstanding regular season last year, ended up with the top spot in the Eastern Conference, but unfortunately swept out of the playoffs by the team they'll be skating against tonight, the Muskegon Lumberjacks, who ended up going all the way to the Clark Cup final and lifting the first Clark Cup championship in club history. Dramatic Game 5 overtime win, that game-winning goal coming off the stick of Jack Christ, who will be in the lineup tonight for Muskegon. Let's take a look at those starting lineups. We will begin with the visiting Muskegon Lumberjacks, who I actually believe are the home team here this evening. Starting at left wing out of Pierce, South Dakota, committed to North Dakota in the draft property of the Pittsburgh Penguins, number 15, Carter Sanderson. At center, out of Latvia, committed to Boston College, number 17, Brady Berskans. At right wing, out of Tampa, Florida, committed to Harvard, number 7, Niles Benson. On defense, out of Slovakia, number 27, Adam Belusko. And out of Wayzata, Minnesota, committed to Notre Dame, number 3, Danny Clares. And net out of Sweden, and committed to Minnesota Duluth, number 29, Carl Axelson. Lumberjacks are coached by Colton St. Clair. The associate head coaches are Casey McNoney and Taylor Ward. They are assisted by Pat Maroon. And now for your Youngstown Phantoms. Starting at left wing out of Roslyn, New York, number 15, Ryan Franks. At center, out of Czechia, committed to Nebraska Omaha, number 28, Jakub Hesch. At right wing, out of Brooklyn, New York, committed to Harvard, number 8, Jesse Golofsky. On defense, out of Rochester, Minnesota, committed to Army, number 6, JTV. And out of Maplewood, Minnesota, number 7, Mason Stinger. In net, out of Czechia, committed to UMass, number 79, Tobias Trable. Phantoms are coached in his 4th season by Ryan Ward. The associate head coach is Brandon Gotkin. They are assisted by Redmond Brow. The equipment manager is Andrew Rush, athletic trainer Amber Martinelli, goaltending coach Neil Conway, and the strength and conditioning coach is Tommy Malloy. Muskegon did not list any scratches on their line chart out of the lineup for the Phantoms tonight. Number 3, Jack Wilson. Number 4, Harrison Smith. Number 11, Johnny Conlon. Number 12, Cal Houston. Number 22, Boris Perrine. Number 27, Logan Anderson. Number 33, Owen Lepak. Number 34, Brody Berard. And number 37, Sean Miller. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a 5-minute timeout. And when we come back, we will have Youngstown Phantoms Hockey here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Discount Power Sports LLC is continuing to grow. They offer ATVs, dirt bikes, go-karts, electric bicycles, while offering off-road power sport repair services. Located at 758 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to the newly renovated Village Tavern. Discount Power Sports LLC also offers financing and accepts all major credit cards. Discount Power Sports LLC. Find them online at discountpowersports.biz. Discount Power Sports LLC, where value meets adventure.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley. The Village Tavern's been a beloved local landmark in Hubbard, Ohio for nearly a century, and now it's better than ever. Recently renovated and still serving up the same warm hospitality, the Village Tavern is your go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a laid-back atmosphere. Whether you're stopping in for dinner, catching up with friends, or just looking to relax, you'll enjoy a full menu of American favorites, rotating drink specials, and friendly service that makes every visit memorable. Be sure to visit the Village Tavern at 746 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to Repair That Glass. To learn more, go to villagetavern3.com. Are you ready to hit the gridiron and make your mark? The Cleveland Cobras are recruiting players and coaches for the upcoming Premier Amateur Football League season. We're looking for passion, grit, and the relentless drive to win. Whether you're a seasoned vet or hungry rookie, your shot starts now. Join a brotherhood, build a legacy, strike with the Cobras. Follow us on Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or for league information, visit taflfootball.com to get started today. Team, pride, Cobras.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand scores! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio, home of the Youngstown Phantoms, on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Printscape Arena here in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. We are just waiting for the teams to come out of the locker room, and then we will get the 2025 preseason underway. And welcome back into the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen. I am Matt Lipsack, voice of the Youngstown Phantoms. Thank you for joining us today on Flow Hockey and Western Reserve Radio, as the Phantoms have now taken the ice under the leadership of fourth-year head coach Ryan Ward. 186 USHL games in the book for Ryan. Owns a record of 113, 56, and 17 through those first three seasons. And, of course, brought the team their first Clark Cup championship in his freshman campaign back in the 22-23 season. Lumberjacks, they have a new coaching staff this season as well. Now at the helm is Colton St. Clair. So he will be in his freshman campaign for the Lumberjacks as well. Do believe we will be doing the national anthem here at the arena, so hang on for just a second, and we will get underway. I think they're just trying to get the Star Spangled Banner queued up on the Bluetooth. There we go. Our national anthem on a Friday night here in Cannonsburg. Welcome into Printscape Arena, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready to go here. The officials for tonight's game, selected by USA Hockey referee Kyle McCauley, linesman Zach Bennett, and TJ Dockery. Phantoms made a lot of moves in this offseason, and I'm sure we will be talking about them throughout the game. And you're going to see one of them on the starting line. That is defenseman JT Vini. And you can't miss him on the ice. He is 6'7", 223 pounds, and will be attending West Point at the end of his USHL career. But right now it is Burscans and Hesh at center ice. Roll for initiative 25. Preseason is underway as Muskegon controls the draw. Sanderson whacks it into the Youngstown NV behind the cage. Send it around the near kick plate, and down the ice it goes. Trying to beat out the icing whistle is Jesse Orlovsky, but getting down the ice first was Danny Clares. And so face-off will be in the Youngstown zone. They're going to drop the puck to the right of Tobias Trable. Winning that draw again was Burscans. Center point for a shot that is ricocheted in. Don't know if that was Belusco at the point or if it was redirected along the way by Sanderson. And Belusco leads the celebration line. And just 19 seconds into this one, Muskegon has a 1-0 lead. Pretty simple play off the faceoff there for Muskegon. Won it back D-to-D at center point, and it hit something in the slot. And went through the 5-hole of Tobias Trable. Hextall kicked out of the circle. And Matty Bukowski will step in to take the draw against Jake Stewart. Jacks win the draw, but it's taken away by Bukowski. He was knocked out of the postseason in Game 1. Jack shattered his collarbone. Nice to see Matty back out there. As here the Jack come back through center, it's Noringer. Sending it ahead for a quick shot on the cage by Stewart. Looked like he might have been trying to go between his legs there to fool Trable, but able to get the right pad down just in time to keep it from Muskegon having a 2-0 lead. Face off to the left of Trable. Hextall to take the draw against Stewart. And this time it's Hextall with the face-off win. Worked it over to Melker. Melker Morin able to clear to the line. Dexheimer held. Came around to the left wing corner. Thompson behind the cage to Morin. Up the near side, ricocheted off of Cooper Simpson. Acquisition this summer by the Phantoms. Sent back into the Youngstown end. Thompson deep to Morin. Then ahead, looking for a redirect, and it did go off a Muskegon stick and into the Jack zone, where it will be set up by Axelson. Stolen here by Hextall. Holding it up to the right point, but nobody there. Calgill will grab it at the red line. He gets double teamed by a couple of Jacks. Hextall back to cover up defensively as the puck trickles over to Jack Hamilton. Back to Hextall, back near side to Hamilton. In front of the cage for Calgill. Andrew ahead off the stick of Kyle O'Leary, ricocheted into the right wing corner. Thought that O'Leary got interfered with there. As here's the puck is stolen by Kaharchi. Tried to tee it up, but got knocked off the puck, and the Jacks will come quickly ahead. Lance centering feed, but behind its intended target. Puck is grabbed by Calgill, banked it off the boards to the line and out to center. Delitsky touched it behind him, looking for O'Leary, but instead the Phantoms are going to break off the attack and go for the line change. Muskegon carrying ahead as Malachi McKinnon forced the issue, and the Jacks will bump it into the Youngstown zone. They'll go for a line change as well. Carter Murphy carrying ahead for Youngstown. Murph to the red line ahead off of McKinnon. Ricocheted over to the right wing corner. Brusinski got a touch on it there. Bumped up to Jardine. Tried to feed it up to the point for Jackson Adams under his stick and all the way down to the right wing circle of the Youngstown end where Trable sets it up for Murphy from behind the cage. Murphy out to center off of McKinnon. Forced back the other direction by the Lumberjacks. Grabbed by Brusinski around the wall to Adams. Back around near side. Popped out in front, but the Jacks unable to get a shot away. That was Katura. Now it's Murphy. Into the neutral zone to the red line and fires it into the Muskegon end. Quickly past Atkinson around the wall. Rusinski fan of the one-timer. Loose puck came to Jardine. He couldn't bank it off the boards to McKinnon, and it's played out to center. McKinnon took the body there. Jardine trying to find that loose puck, but it's knocked north by Bergeron. Into the Youngstown end it goes, while Muskegon at least gets new defenseman on the ice. Vini. His pass ahead for Stenger. Threw his legs, but came right back to Vini. Couldn't clear it to the line again. Shot toward the cage by the left defense of the Jacks. Blocked and sent out to center. Rolling puck, no icing here. Back down into the Muskegon zone. Dexheimer around the cage. Knocked down by Owen Boucher. Play continues. Puck out to the neutral zone. Orlovsky swept it back to Stenger. D to Vini. Back to Stenger. Far side. Out to center off the stick of Peshin. Redirected into the Muskegon zone, but also into the meshing. 16:29 left in the first period. 1-0 Muskegon. Goal in the first 19 seconds by Adam Belushko. Face off at center ice. Hesh will take the draw. And Hesh will win that draw against Stewart. Stanger into the zone. Hasselson stopped it behind the cage, swept it around near side. Vini pinched in to keep it alive. In front for Orlovsky to Hesh, side of the cage. Couldn't sweep it on the net. Knocked away by Lance. Taken by the Jackson. They'll carry ahead with a rush. Centering feed looking for Stewart, but swept to the corner by Vini. Off the wall, Orlovsky played to the point, held by Muskegon. DDD now right side for Lance. His shot was blocked. Ricochet toward the cage, swept on the net by Novotny, but stopped away by Trable. Rebound behind the cage, centering feed for the Jacks. Side of the net, shot was blocked. Played up to the near wall by Hextall, kept in the line by Lance. Popped it on net, and that'll be gloved and held by Tobias Trable. 15:46 now left in the first. Face off to the left of Trable. Drabicki to take the draw against Hextall. Hextall wins that draw over to Thompson, but then poked off of his stick into the corner by the Jacks. Taken away by Hextall, carried up the near wall, fed out to center, but couldn't get over to Bukowski. Bounced back to Morin. Swept back out to the neutral zone, grabbed at the red line by the Jacks. Hextall took it right back and played it over to Morin. Up to the line for Simpson. Cooper, centering feed, but over the stick of Bukowski. A little too much sauce on that one. Now it's Zemanis back through center. Send it over to Katora. Taken away from behind by Thompson. Couldn't clear it around the wall, though. Grabbed by Chris. Centering feed. Had a man between the circles. That was Zemanis, but he couldn't get the shot away. Right to the right side. Claire's shot blocked by Jack Hextall. He got to that rebound, sending it around far side, looking for Bukowski. Matty used that big frame to protect the puck behind the cage. Over to Thompson. Now Morin lifts it out to center. Going on a race for it is Bukowski. Into the zone 1-on-2. Bukowski shot away, but through the blue paint, missed it wide. Round to the near side. Played out to center by the Jacks. Grabbed right back by the Phantoms. Into the zone comes Kuharshi. High slot over to O'Leary. His one-timer wide of the cage. Rebound to the far side. Sent down the ice by Muskegon. This one has plenty of steam on it. And winning the race for icing is Andrew Calgill. With 14:31 left in the opening period. 1-0. In favor of Muskegon. I'll give a shout out to Brendan Miller tuning in back in Youngstown. We'll be keeping things up to date on social media for you during the game. Here the offensive zone faceoff won by Muskegon. Carrying it around the cage is scoring. Sent down the ice and icing called on the Lumberjacks again. So bring the faceoff back into the Muskegon end once more. Faceoff will be to the right of Axelson, who I do not believe has had to make a save through the opening 5 and change. Kuharshi wins the faceoff. Hamilton, DDD to Calgill. His shot was blocked into the right wing corner. Getting a piece of it was Litchke. Sent back behind the cage. O'Leary couldn't get there in time. Sent around the wall by Claire's. Hamilton pinching in, trying to keep the play alive for Youngstown. Battle in the left wing corner. O'Leary kicked it free, but it's grabbed by the Jacks. They'll work it to center. Muskegon back into the zone. Left side, that's Katora battling with Calgill. Forced up the wall by Hamilton, found O'Leary, and Kyle clubs it out to center. Skating into it to Litchke, but getting there first was Dexheimer. Played back into the Youngstown end while Muskegon goes for a line change. Trable behind him to Hamilton, pass D to Calgill, out to center for O'Leary, ricochet into the Muskegon zone, but grabbed safely by Sullivan. Taken down by McKinnon. Rusitsky trying to spin his way in front, but lost his footing. Berthcombs turned it over. Jardine centering feed, Matt McKinnon. Fanned on the one-timer. Rusitsky around to the left corner to Jardine. Protecting the puck, sent back down low to Rusitsky. Drew tried to stop, but was taken off the puck, and Dexheimer will clear it, taken away by McKinnon. Sent out to center by Muskegon. Jardine looking for that bouncing puck. Came back to Berthcombs, though. Dexheimer with it. Near side, played it past McKinnon, but into the Youngstown bench. And we'll have, I believe, a neutral zone draw. 12:56 left in the first period. And a 1-0 Muskegon lead. The goal for Adam Belusco, just 19 seconds into regulation. Brzezinski takes the draw against Stewart, and Rue will win that cleanly. Adams over to the far wall for it. Backtracks into his own zone. DPD to Murphy near side. Murph snaps it ahead off of McKinnon. Then Rusinski played it into the zone, but it's going to roll to Sullivan. Cleared it to the line. McKinnon kept it, as did Rusinski. Sent it far side to Jardine, but the pass was too hard. It's wide open. Center point. Murphy got off the blocker of Axelson. Murphy to his own rebound. Sent it to the left point, but nobody there. Adams to it at center. Back to his own blue line. Loaded back ahead to the line. Redirected in by McKinnon. Has his stick tangled up. Able to work it free. Has it behind the cage. Centering feet. Almost bounced off a man in front and into the net. As it is, the Jacks bring it back ahead 2-on-2. In the zone came Novotny. His shot off the blocker of Trable. Trable, right-handed catching goaltender. Won't see a lot of those. Kept in the zone by Muskegon. Into the corner for Novotny. Threw a big reverse hit. Knocked down Mason Stenger. And then Stenger put his man down in the corner. Puck is chipped past Novotny by Adams. Pinching in to keep it alive was Deneau. Came to Hesh behind the cage. Quickly ahead to Boucher. Owen swept off of his stick by Chris. Swept back toward the Youngstown line. Stenger will retreat for it below the goal line. Send it near corner for Vini. Snap back spot for Boucher and then Hesh. Hesh couldn't sweep it into the zone. Was knocked off of his stick by Corin. Came to Boucher. Dropped back to Vini. Quickly across to Franks near side. Into the zone on side. Franks using that big frame. Puck popped up in the air. Came down to the left corner. Boucher working on Deneau. But he got double teamed, and coming away with the puck was Drabicki. Sent it far corner. Taken away by Simpson. Back behind the cage. Only one there is Deneau, however. Of the near side, Zemaitis had it stolen by Bukowski. Matty down low to Hextall. Jack, top of the left circle. Skating across high slot. Shot toward the cage. Hit bodies in front. Settled down for Bukowski to play to the far wall. Now it's Chris with the steal. Sends it off the far glass and down the ice. Does this one have enough steam on it for icing? No. Died just short of the line, and Morin will have to play it. Quickly ahead to the line. Simpson redirects it into the zone. At least just barely did, as Claris brings it around the cage to the far side. Traded it off to Belusco. Coming up the near side, Belusco still with it. Now back out at center for Bergeron. Bergeron danced around more and dropped it back, but pass missed its intended target. Grabbed by Maroon. Into the right corner. Back centering feed, which was redirected into the corner. That came off the stick of Maroon. Hextall with it, trying to step through dangerously. Trable might have gotten a stick on that as well as the puck was loose to the side of his cage. Maroon up to the point to Belusco. Back down into the corner. Simpson took it away for Youngstown. Couldn't clear the zone. Kept in by Drabicki. Sent it behind the cage. Trable around the wall and off the corner. Glass out the center for Bukowski. Matty pressured and backtracks into his own zone for Kuharchi. Over to Thompson near side. And Braden lifts it down the ice. Had a man sneaking through. That was it. Litchke just couldn't find him. Nice stick handling there by Kuharchi to keep the play alive for Youngstown. Quick shot in the cage by Frank. Saved by Axelson. Rebound cleared to the far wall. Kept at the line by Cowgill. Litchke with it. Had a man crashing. Couldn't feed it to him. And now the pass is picked off. Loose behind the cage. Frank's digging for it. Sorry, that's O'Leary. But it's taken away by the Jacks and just iced down the length. And was Jack Sullivan icing it for Muskegon. 9:05 left in the first. 1-0 Jacks. Face-off will be to the left of Axelson. Kuharchi to take the draw against Burns Column. Won by the Jacks. Dexheimer around the cage to the near side. Got past it, Litchke, and able to get it out to center. 2-on-1 for the Jacks if they can hurry. Centering feed by Sanderson. Stopped by Trable on the quick one-timer by Benson. Kuharchi side of the cage. Stick handling, trying to get away from Benson. He does. Out to center for O'Leary, and snap just to the side of the cage. Axelson sets it up for Coring. Coring with it again on the give and go through the neutral zone into the Youngstown end. Got past Adams. Coring centering feed was looking for Stewart, and the one-timer pass was behind him and went back out to center. Jacks with it in their own end. And coming in on net, Trable with a nice stop as he got a piece of that one. As a man leaks through the defense, that was Novotny. And on the backhand, lifted it up off the shoulder of Trable and into the meshing. 8:16 left in the first. Face-off won by Rusinski. Adams over to Jardine and played out to center. It's going to come through to Lance, however. Sends it far corner for Coring. He gets knocked down from behind by Rusinski as the puck came to Jardine. And he did not keep the line there. I had a great look at it, as did the linesman. Puck just across the blue paint. So neutral zone draw after the Phantoms are offside. And thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody, wherever you are. As Youngstown went to neutral zone draw, Vini redirects it into the right wing corner. Rusinski trying to beat his man to the puck, could not do so, but the loose puck came to Jardine. Played to the point for Stinger. Mason back to Jardine for play across to Vini. Steps in, fires a low shot on net. Axelson with the stick save. Rebound picked up by Zemaitis and skated to center. Frist knocked it back to Zemaitis, but offside are the Lumberjacks this time. .734 left in the first. Hesh to take the face-off against Trubicki. Hesh almost lost his stick there off the draw. Still tangled up in a bunch of skates there. Finally, Orlovsky able to send it back to Dinger. Just able to gather it in. Around the cage to the near side he comes. Banks it off the boards and up to center for Franks. Ryan into the zone. Toe drag shot blocked by the ankle of Blair's. Over to the far wall it came. Franks able to regather. Got his stick slashed by Blair's. Play continues. Hatch to the point for Thompson. His shot blocked in the slot. A lot of bodies there. Orlovsky played it up to the point. Kept by Franks. His turning shot knocked down by Drabicki. He'll carry back ahead to the red line and then dump into the left wing corner. Go off for a change. One man alone by himself is Couture there in the left wing corner. Now his teammates join the play as Braden Thompson picks up his twig. Remember, the Lumberjacks lost his footing there. Tucked into the left corner boards. Referee Kyle McCauley says, move the puck, boys. Hesh did kick it free. Worked to the point by Stinger. One-timer on the chest of Trable, and he will hold as Dexheimer took that bouncing puck for a swing and knocked it right to the Phantom crest of Tobias Trable, the young man out of Most, Czechia. .624 left in the first. 1-0 Muskegon. First Collins to take the draw against Hextall. Hexie wins the draw. Rusinski behind the cage to Hamilton. Back over to Calgo. Out to center for Bukowski. To Hextall. Waits. Shot just missed the top corner far, or near my near side. Hextall's far side. Bukowski to the rebound in the left corner. Cycled down low for Hextall. Wedged off by Dexheimer. They'll battle at the left half wall. Dexheimer worked it free, paid it in front of the cage to Sullivan, who took a bump, but able to play it out to center off of Sanderson. Overskating was Benson, and it came to Hextall. Hextall, far side over to Simpson. Cooper, little start-stop, but got wedged up by Sullivan. Grabbed and sent around the boards by Deneau. Hextall got there first, took a bump, taken away by Benson, who played it behind him to Burskons. Crossed the red line, dumped it in, off for a change are the Lumberjacks. Trable sets it up for Murphy. Carter with some speed. Got past Novotny. Still has the puck. Carter into the Muskegon zone. Start, stop, centering feed was looking for O'Leary, but he broke off his rush. Puck grabbed by Lance, sent around the wall, kept at the point by Kuharczyk. Behind the net, Axelson stops it up, sent left point. Norger just able to bump it across the line. Back out the center it comes, grabbed by Zidlitzky and then Kuharczyk. Into the zone, played it over to Zidlitzky. Trying to make a move to his forehand. Kuharczyk behind, through his legs. But stopped by Axelson. 4:44 left in the first. Face off to the left of Axelson. Jabicki to take the draw against Rusinski. Jabicki wins the draw. Belusco out to center off of Christ and into the Youngstown end. Trable stops it behind the cage, sends it back far side. Chris centering feed, and they score. Trable too long to get back into the cage, and Ethan Jabicki fired home the one-timer. And Muskegon has a 2-0 lead. Time of the goal, 15:28. Trable a little bit indecisive with the puck there, and then just no urgency to get back into the blue paint. Ends in an easy goal for Ethan Jabicki. Penalty upcoming to Muskegon as Rusinski sends for McKinnon. To the backhand, Axelson makes the save. So I think McKinnon maybe pulled that one too far across as a slashing call upcoming on the Jacks. But it looked like McKinnon had the 5-hole open there on Axelson, just maybe pulled it too far, tried to go around the leg instead of between them. So Youngstown gets the game's first power play. Time of the penalty, 15:39. As the penalty is on Ethan Jabicki. 2 for slashing. Youngstown first power play of the game. Team record for power play percentage last year, 23.7%. Almost a full 1.5% better than the old team record, as it's Cooper Simpson. Across, Hextall left circle. Fed through to the back door, was looking for Jardine, and the easy tip wouldn't go. Jardine gets it back up the wall to Simpson. Cooper, right circle shot. Axelson save. Rebound. Back to Hextall, top of the left circle. Across, right side. Simpson, shot, blocked, got it back. Simpson. Across, Hextall, skate to stick. Wasn't in his wheelhouse. McKinnon. To Simpson, right circle. Across, Hextall. McKinnon, center point. Eyeing the cage. Hextall. Top of the left circle. Retreats the point. Trades places with McKinnon. Over to the wall. McKinnon to it. Back center point for Hextall. Hextall. Toss it across to McKinnon. But Benson able to redirect the pass over to Burskons, who gets the clear. Some great puck movement there by the Phantoms. Did force Axelson to make a couple of saves, but equal to the task as the second power play unit cycles on. We're already halfway home on the advantage here for Youngstown. Zidlitzky. Over to Bukowski. Patty back to the point to Murphy. Start, stop to get past his man. Still has it. Below the goal line for Bukowski. Back to Murphy in the corner. Center point for Hesh. Back over to Murphy. Top of left circle, Zidlitzky. Through the box. And came to Kuharczyk. Over to Zidlitzky. Skate to stick. The skate center point, then traded off to Murphy. Murphy down the left side. Tried to feed Hesh in the bumper. Block. Came right back to him. 28 seconds left on the power play. Zidlitzky. Right circle for Kuharczyk. Below the goal line for Bukowski. Back to Kuharczyk. Sauced it center point for Murphy. Stepped in. Back to Kuharczyk. Low shot redirected high. Puck stayed in play. Came over to Zidlitzky. Tried to feed it center point, but Murphy went left. The puck went right. Phantoms try to quickly get back into the zone here. Kuharczyk hesitated. They're offside. And now out of the box comes Ethan Jabicki. Power play 0 for 1 for Youngstown, but it was a pretty good-looking power play. Novotny with it for Muskegon. Trades it off to Belusco, bumped off his line by Franks, but able to find his defensive partner, Clares. Out to center for Novotny. Played behind him looking for Stewart, but Orlowski got there first for Youngstown. Rolled to Hamilton, out to center, off of Franks, and redirected back down into the Muskegon end. Clares, D over to Belusco, back to Clares. To the Youngstown line for Norger. Got an angle on Hamilton, but then Jack able to get back in position and wedge his man down. Orlowski got interfered with. Play continues as Franks carries through center. Off the red line and chipped it to the end wall. Belusco, first one to it. Sent it around to Novotny and out to center. Gained the red line and fired it in. Trable slowed it down as it rolls through to Mooring. Out to Thompson. And then Boucher across. Orlowski tried to take the one-time pass from Thompson. Would not go. And Muskegon played it back out to center as a couple of players collide there at the blue line. Braden Thompson put his man down in the left corner. Hextall spins off a check near side. Send it across to Mooring. Thompson now into the zone. Chipped it just wide of the cage. Axelson slowed it down. Played it up the far walls. We have less than a minute remaining in this opening period. 2-0 Muskegon. Dexheimer up the wall. Whacked at by Bukowski, but bounced over to Drabowski. Denied the line as it came to Sanderson. Far side over to Coring. Around the kick plate, it comes to Stenger. Couldn't send it up the near wall, kept by Benson, who then lost his footing. Puck came to Simpson. Cooper had 2 on 4. Into the zone he comes. To the point for Stenger. Down the wall, Bukowski's side of the cage. Back to Simpson. Right half wall as somebody lost their stick. Puck lifted up in the air by the Jack's glove down by Vini, but taken away from him by Benson. Swept over to the near wall. Kuharchik sends it over near side for Stenger. And from the neutral zone, he'll whack it on the chest of Axelson. He set it down. Defenseman sends it around the wall and outside with 2 seconds and 1. And that will do it for the opening period of play. Jacks get a goal in the opening 19 seconds from Adam Belusco. And then again with just under 5 minutes remaining by Ethan Drabicki. And they have a 2-0 lead. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a 5-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at recapping the first period for you, and then some out-of-town scores. You've been listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on West Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Veterans. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand score! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got add gas.
Discount Power Sports LLC is continuing to grow. They offer ATVs, dirt bikes, go-karts, electric bicycles, while offering off-road power sport repair services. Located at 758 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to the newly renovated Village Tavern. Discount Power Sports LLC also offers financing and accepts all major credit cards. Discount Power Sports LLC. Find them online at discountpowersports.biz. Discount Power Sports LLC, where value meets adventure.
The Village Tavern's been a beloved local landmark in Hubbard, Ohio for nearly a century, and now it's better than ever. Recently renovated and still serving up the same warm hospitality, the Village Tavern is your go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a laid-back atmosphere. Whether you're stopping in for dinner, catching up with friends, or just looking to relax, you'll enjoy a full menu of American favorites, rotating drink specials, and friendly service that makes every visit memorable. Be sure to visit the Village Tavern at 746 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to Repair That Glass. To learn more, go to villagetavern3.com.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio, home of the Youngstown Phantoms, on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside Printscape Arena here in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. Time for the first intermission report. At the end of 20 minutes of play, the Muskegon Lumberjacks lead the Youngstown Phantoms by the score of 2-0, and it took just 19 seconds for the Jacks to get their opening goal of the preseason. It was a face-off win, D-to-D for a one-timer that Adam Belushko fired home from center point, hit something in front, and ended up redirecting through the 5-hole of Tobias Trable on the first shot of the game. Danny Clares and Rudy Burscombs with the helpers on that one, 1-0 Muskegon. And then at 15:28, Trable took a puck from behind his cage and sent it up the far wall where Jack Chris intercepted it, sent it to Ethan Drabicki in the slot, and Drabicki able to one-time it home before Trable could get back into the blue paint. Drabicki's first of the preseason, and that is how Muskegon got their 2-0 lead. Just one penalty in that first period was on Ethan Drabicki for slashing at 15:29. Phantoms had a couple of really good looks there on that power play. Like they were going with 5 forwards on that top man advantage unit, and then 4 forwards and 1 defenseman on the second power play unit. Again, some great looks, just unable to get anything past Carl Axelson. And so we stand at 2-0. Don't have a shot on goal for you yet, but I will do my best to get you that number at some point during the game. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We will be back in 5 minutes here on the first intermission report, Western Reserve Radio and Slow Hockey.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley. Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
Discount Power Sports LLC is continuing to grow. They offer ATVs, dirt bikes, go-karts, electric bicycles, while offering off-road power sport repair services. Located at 758 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to the newly renovated Village Tavern. Discount Power Sports LLC also offers financing and accepts all major credit cards. Discount Power Sports LLC. Find them online at discountpowersports.biz. Discount Power Sports LLC, where value meets adventure.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside Princescape Arena here in Cannonsburg. First intermission report at the end of 20 minutes. Muskegon has a 2-0 lead on the Phantoms. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. A final in overtime from a little preseason event they're having over at the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. Game 1 over there. Omaha takes down Sioux Falls in overtime by the score of 7-6. Brady Arneson getting the overtime winner. So we had a natural hat trick for Erickson of Sioux Falls. There's obviously not a lot of defense being played over in Sioux City in the early game. Right now in the late game over there, Fargo with the 4-2 lead over Tri-City. Muskegon leads here 2-0, getting underway in about 20 minutes. Cedar Rapids will be in Madison to take on the Capitals. Waterloo Blackhawks will be hosting the Green Bay Gamblers. In the late game at Tyson Event Center, the Sioux City Musketeers will be hosting the Des Moines Buccaneers. And then at IMON Arena in Dubuque, the Fighting Saints will be hosting the Chicago Steel. Taking a look at the Youngstown High School football scoreboard, those games are probably just about 15-20 minutes away from kickoff. So if you're tuning in, waiting for your kickoff, hello, welcome in. Some of the big games this weekend. Looks like we got Boardman and Cheney, Cardinal Mooney and Canfield, Columbiana and Western Reserve, Crestview and United Local, Poland taking on Field, Jefferson will be taking on Lakeview, Lowellville will be playing LeBray, Maslin Perry will be taking on Warren Harding. Ravenna will be taking on Niles. Sharon and Slippery Rock will be facing off here in Pennsylvania. Warren JFK will be battling Liberty. West Branch will be in Struthers to take on the Wildcats. And Mineral Ridge will be taking on Conneaut. That'll do it for the out-of-town scoreboard. And our first intermission report, there are 3 minutes and 40 seconds left until puck drop for the second period. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, second period action between the Youngstown Phantoms and Muskegon Lumberjacks here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
The Village Tavern's been a beloved local landmark in Hubbard, Ohio for nearly a century, and now it's better than ever. Recently renovated and still serving up the same warm hospitality, the Village Tavern is your go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a laid-back atmosphere. Whether you're stopping in for dinner, catching up with friends, or just looking to relax, you'll enjoy a full menu of American favorites, rotating drink specials, and friendly service that makes every visit memorable. Be sure to visit the Village Tavern at 746 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to Repair That Glass. To learn more, go to villagetavern3.com.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand score! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WIDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside Prince-Cape Arena for the start of the second period. Phantoms taking the ice. Muskegon with the 2-0 lead. First period goals belonging to Adam Belushko and Ethan Drabicki. Jack's just now taking the ice. Again, if you're spending part of your Friday with us, welcome. We're thrilled to have you as we kick off the 2025-2026 season. And again, big shout out to Brendan Miller back in Youngstown, keeping things up to date on social media for you. On X at YTown Phantoms, Facebook and Instagram at Youngstown Phantoms. See some of the beautiful graphics put together by Katie Masucci. Phantoms going from left to right as we start the second period. Brusinski and Bruskons to take the draw. Roll for initiative. Second period's underway as Bruskons wins the draw. Back to Belushko. Up to the red line as Bruskons knocked down by Brusinski. He'll carry the puck into the zone. Tried to center, knocked down by Belushko. Has it in the corner. Sent it up the near wall. Grabbed by Murphy. His shot redirected wide by Brusinski. Puck behind the cage. Couldn't wedge it over to Jardine. Skating into it is Belushko. Sent it far side through the legs of Niles Benson, and this will be icing on the Muskegon Lumberjacks. 26 seconds into the second period. Face-off will be to the left of Axelsson. 6'4", 183 out of Sweden. Played with the Austin Bruins last year. As Youngstown wins the draw, it's Cooper Simpson. Trying to feed it up to the point, but that's picked off by Sanderson and skated ahead to the red line. Chipped it on the cage, wedged to the end wall by Trable. To Butkovsky and ahead to Simpson. Left it behind him for Hextall. Jack through the slot, turns, fired, saved by Axelsson, and he covers. Hexy hunting for the 5-hole there. Axelsson equal to the task. Face off to the left of Axelsson. Hextall Loses the draw to Stewart. Deneau over to Dexheimer. Out to center. They're looking for Novotny. Picked off by Cowgill. Waited for Bukowski to touch up and then sent it back in his own. Dexheimer poked it up to the point. Line was kept by Hamilton. Dexheimer on the third effort, able to get it off a man and out to center. 2-on-1 developing. Centering feed that was intended for Novotny off an ankle and out to center. That came from Noringer. Deneau to the far side in the neutral zone. Grabbed by Stewart. Bumped past Hamilton and into the zone. Cowgill grabbed it in the right corner. Throws some snow away from Noringer over to Hamilton. Back to Cowgill behind the cage. Andrew out to the red line. Redirected into the Jack's end by Bukowski, who goes off for a change. Lance. Off the stick of Zemaitis. Redirected on the cage, and Trable throws the trapper on top of it. We'll have a defensive zone face-off for Youngstown. 18-18 left in the second. Muskegon leads 2-0. Face-off to the left of Trable. 6'4" in his own right. Drabicki to take the draw against Kaharchik. And it's the Jacks with control. Lance down the wall to Zemaitis. Back to Lance. His shot toward the cage. Went on Chris, who swept it on the net, but Trable able to kick it out. Phantoms control the rebound. Kaharchik off the back of the net over to Vini in the corner. JT played it to the line where it was held by Chris, but ricocheted back to Thompson. Braden out to center, just out of the reach of Kaharchik. Bounced off of O'Leary. Kaharchik couldn't enter the zone, but he was able to grab it away from a Jack. A couple of neat stick handling plays there as Zidlichi couldn't enter the zone. Clearly, Phantoms are onside, but it's Muskegon with the puck. Lance up the wall. Zemaitis out to center for Christ. Christ to Drabicki off the wall. Trickles toward the blue paint, but grabbed by Hesh. Up to the red line for O'Leary. Long distance shot, just missed the cage. Kept into left point by Hesh. Around the kick plate it goes, pinching in his stinger to keep it alive. Worked it to Franks. Took down Clares. Puck loose behind the net. Came to Hesh. Right point for Stenger. Walked to the middle. Got the shot away. Hit Franks in front and went wide. Clares sent it up the wall to Boucher. Took a bump from behind from Maroon as the puck goes out to center. Hesh. Lost it to Bergeron. Toe drag and a backhander. Poked away by Trable. Left point now, Belushko. Top of the slot for Maroon. Lost it, Hesh. Couldn't clear. Back down the wall it went, picked up by Morin. Over to Stenger. Through to Franks and out to center where it finds Danny Clares. Well, I guess Sanderson was playing the D there for a moment. Puck hits the stick of Owen Boucher and ricochets a couple times before it ends up with Ryan Rusinski. Rue, right corner. Spins away from Belushko. Worked it up the wall. Couldn't find Boucher. McKinnon couldn't keep it at the line either. And ahead comes Benson with Sanderson, but lost the puck. Adams ahead looking for Rusinski. Ryan skates into it. Left it behind him for McKinnon. Played it over to Rusinski. Now near side looking for Jardine. Pass out of his reach. And the Jacks able to get it out to center. Unable to skate into it was Sullivan. And Youngstown will send it back ahead. Rusinski dropped it back. Backhander Jardine wide of the cage. Sanderson gloves it down, gave it up to Sullivan. McKinnon couldn't get it away from him, but it came to Murphy. Back down the wall to McKinnon, but grabbed by Sullivan and sent down the ice. This one goes wide of the blue paint and will be called for icing on the Muskegon Lumberjacks. 15:32 left in the second. And Muskegon leads 2-0. Face off to the left of Axelson. Draw one by the Jack. Sullivan dangerously toward the front of his net, but took a couple of ricochets and ended up with Carter Sanderson, who dumps this into the zone, but wasn't past the red line yet, but they're not going to call icing. Benson knocked off the puck by Hamilton. It came to Simpson. To Hextall. And then Bukowski. Maddie cut to the middle, but poked away from behind by Novotny as Maddie was about to be in prime shooting position. Benson able to wedge this one out to center, sent back into the zone by Hamilton. Phantom still offside. Now Simpson touches up. Dexheimer left it for Lance in the right corner. Lance bodied up by Hextall, be able to force the puck over to Dexheimer. Little start-stop to throw off Simpson, and then back over to Lance near side. Lance to the neutral zone. Pass ahead was behind Noringer. Little start-stop move gets him around Hamilton into the zone where he rips a shot but missed it wide. Kept to the left point by Deneau. Hard shot off the MO. Ricocheted to the side of the cage where Trable threw the trapper on top of it. 14:31 left in the second, and we'll have a media timeout. Back in 60 seconds here on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Veterans. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand scores! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back into Princescape Arena as we're already back to action. 13:25 left in the second, 2-0 Muskegon. Phantoms in their own zone to Zitlichki. Tried to stretch pass for Olofsky, knocked down by Belushko, came to Thompson, floated one toward the net, a little bit of a change up there. Axelson was a little fooled, but the shot went wide. Now it's Orlovsky again. Power move on his backhand around the cage to the near side. Orlovsky still with it, sends it left point for Morin. Shot, save, rebound, covered by Axelson. There at the edge of the blue paint, hammering away, was Yakov Hesh, looking for the Phantoms' first goal of the preseason. Face-off will be to the right of Axelson. 13:02 left in the second. And it'll be Hesh to take the draw against Bergeron. Phantoms control the draw. Orlovsky to Singer. One-timer was going wide of the cage, but Axelson flashes the trapper and holds. Face off to the left of Axelson. Hesh to take the draw for Youngstown against Bergeron. And Hesh won it, worked it to Orlovsky, but his shot redirected into the meshing, believed by Nick Coring. Defenseman out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, committed to Colorado College. Face off to the left of Axelson once again. Won by the Jack. Lance around the cage. Worked it to Dexheimer. And out to center. A couple of big hits thrown by the Phantoms as it comes to Morin. Ahead looking for Boucher, but broken up by the Jacks and sent back ahead. Bergeron has it knocked off of his stick into the corner by Hesh. Puck pops over to Orlovsky and worked far side over to Morin. Morin, long distance shot off the mask. Rebound! I thought it was in, but the ref waved it off. Must have hit the post. That one was awfully close to going in on the rebound follow there for Youngstown. As it is still 2-0 Muskegon as Lance skates it to the red line and chips it into the meshing as he was trying to dump it in. 12-13 left in the second. Face off right at the center ice. That'll be Rusinski to take the draw against Burskons. I just got to look at the follow-up try there by Mason Singer. And yes, flush off the near post. As Youngstown won the neutral zone draw, Adams snapped it ahead. Dexheimer battles Rusinski and McKinnon in the corner. McKinnon taken to the boards by Burskons. Dexheimer digging at that puck, came free for a moment. Murphy kept it alive for Youngstown. Came to Rusinski. Jardine, one-timer was blocked. Jardine found it, tried to lift it up over the shoulder, but ended up finding the meshing. Jardine had a little bit of room up top, but when the goaltender's 6'4", you got to work hard to get it up and over. Face off to the right of Axelson. 11:44 left in the second. Phantoms seem to be warming to the task here in the middle frame. As Rusinski wins the draw to Jardine. Jardine to the corner to Rusinski. One-timer. Ripped it just wide of the cage on the low shot. Adams pinched in to keep it alive. Played into the corner looking for Jardine, but it's grabbed by Belushko. Played out to center, taken away by the Phantoms. McKinnon back into the zone, but stolen away by Belushko. Worked it down below the goal line, declares. Over to the right corner for Stewart. Step far side looking for Norger. Has some speed, but Murphy able to wedge him wide, and the shot also went wide. McKinnon scoots into the loose puck. Grabbed at the red line by Stewart. Forced back ahead, but gloved down by Murphy. Murphy moved to get around one man and then fed Rusinski. Rue chipped it down low. Belushko sent it back over to Clares and then worked to Stewart. Stewart run into by Hextall. Simpson off the bench, couldn't get to the puck. And Novotny will send it behind him to Norger and into the Youngstown zone. He's knocked down by Hamilton. Puck came to Cowgill. Lost his footing coming around the cage. Tripping call upcoming on Muskegon. Hextall through center. Nice move. Still into the zone. Ran into Christ. And there's the touch by the Jacks. Youngstown will get the second power play of the game as well. Time of the tripping call, 9:31. As our linesmen getting everybody separated. And it'll be Ethan Drabicki again. Goaltending change. As heading into the net, Vladimir Nikitin. Young man out of Kazakhstan. Draft property of the Ottawa Senators. Also a 6'4" goaltender. 6'4", 210. Out of Ekibastus, Kazakhstan. So Ethan Drabicki back in the box. This time for a trip. Phantoms, it's their second power play of the game. It'll be Rusinski to take the draw against Christ. Axelson still in the cage for Muskegon. And Rusinski won the draw to Jardine, then McKinnon. Over to the right half for Simpson. Simpson eyed the cage and took the shot, but that was easily blocked by Sullivan into the meshing. Face off to the left of Axelson once more. 6 seconds gone on the penalty to Ethan Drabicki. Phantoms win the draw again. McKinnon skates the blue line, sends it left side for Hextall. To Rusinski, back to Henskall, center point for McKinnon. Hextall, left circle. Side of the cage, Rusinski tried to feed Jardine in the bumper. Puck's loose at the edge of the blue paint. Cleared by the Jacks. That was Anthony Thomas Maroon doing the deed there for Muskegon. As McKinnon carries back ahead. 30 seconds gone on the power play. Drops it back for Simpson. Cooper into the zone. Split two. Worked it to Rusinski in the corner. Rue double team, but send it up the wall to Hextall. Center point, McKinnon. Time, space, over. Simpson, one-timer, just missed the cage. Beautiful feed there by Malachi McKinnon. Hextall. Center point, McKinnon. They'll trade places. Side of the cage, Rusinski. Send it back and across, and I think the net is off? Or do we have a penalty in front on Youngstown? Nope, net was off. 55 seconds left on the Youngstown power play, their second of the game. Second power play unit out. It'll be Kyle O'Leary to take the draw against Rudy Burzcons. Burzcans wins the draw into the corner, but Clares couldn't clear. Up to the point, it's Morin. Fake the shot. Over to Orlowski. Back center point for Morin. Left circle for Boucher. One-timer and a save by Axelson. Jacks to the rebound, but Burzcons a little trouble with it along the wall. Gets jumped on by Franks. O'Leary in there to support. Feeds it to Boucher. Boucher left circle. Toe drag. Shot. Missed the cage. Franks side of the net. Backhanded it off the side of the net. Cleared to the right point. Kept by Orlovsky. Center point. Morin. Shot. Redirected by O'Leary, but went wide. 20 seconds left on the power play. Boucher to O'Leary. Eyes the cage. Shot. Saved by Axelson. Rebound cleared by Lance. Kept at the point by Morin. Morin. Right point for Orlowski. Down to the right half wall. Orlowski through the box. Boucher missed the cage. Second power play unit applying a ton of pressure, but now out of the box is Ethan Trubicki as the puck is out to center. Boucher back for it. Again, a great power play there for Youngstown. Everything but the result as they dump it back into the zone and go for a line change. Burzcon spins away from Zidlichki. Send it over to Clares near side. Up for Belushko. Nordger denied the line by Kaharchik. Into the zone came Hess. Dropped it back for Zidlichki. Tried to feed Thompson. Pass was under his stick. Thompson spun away from Clares. Tried to get a shot away. It was blocked to the end wall. Stewart grabbed it there. Stolen by Hesh. To Kaharchik. Shot blocked by Stewart into the meshing. Phantoms really applying the pressure here as we go through the midpoint of the second period. 7:50 left in the middle frame. But still 2-0 Muskegon. Face off to the left of Axelson. But the Jacks with the face-off win. Deneau up the near side. Was looking for Christ at center. Couldn't find him, and icing will be called on Muskegon. We'll bring it back into the Lumberjack zone. Face-off to the right of Axelson this time. Kaharchik to take the draw, and he'll win that face-off. Hesh fed it down low. Couldn't find a teammate. Came off the stick of Burzcons, but sent back down low by Kuharchik. Unfortunately, the Jacks able to get it back out the center. Poked away from Chris, but skated into by Drabowski. He's knocked off the puck. Zidlichki over to Kuharchik, and out to center. Found Thompson. Thompson over to Zidlichki. Cut to the middle, but lost the puck. It just rolled off his stick and into the right corner. First one to it was Deneau. Came up to the right half wall. Kuharchik grabs it there for Youngstown. Knocked off the puck by Drabowski. Up to the point, held by Hamilton. Back down the wall it goes. Popped up in the air over Deneau, but it rolled to Belushko. Belushko able to play it out to center off of Zemaitis, but he's on the wrong side of center red, so Muskegon guilty of another icing whistle. .645 left in the second. Still 2-0 Muskegon. Face off to the right of Axelson. Dabrowski to take the draw against Hextall. And Dabrowski will win that faceoff. Belushko up the wall, but kept at the left point by Hamilton. His low shot saved by Axelson. Simpson's attempt at a rebound also shut off by Axelson. Puck below the goal line taken away by the Jacks. Belushko's clearing attempt hit Hextall's second effort, able to work it to the red line. And Jack Crisp, but he couldn't send it ahead. Grabbed at the Youngstown line by Butkowski. Muskegon able to at least get a partial change here as this one's redirected over the glass and out of play. Grabbed by a young man in a Pittsburgh Central Catholic hoodie. 6:16 left in the second. Again, 2-0 Jacks. Shot counter on the scoreboard if you're watching on Flow Hockey says 10-5 in favor of Muskegon. I don't know if I buy that. I think the Phantoms have had 5 shots on that power play alone. As Nikitin gets his first touch of the night, sends it out to center. Hextall redirects it into the Muskegon zone. They're going to wave off icing here as Dexheimer will have to play. It comes around the cage to the far side. Just able to slip it past his man Coring and worked it ahead to Noringer. Noringer had a step, got the shot away. Nikitin made the save. Rebound to Hextall. Fed out to center for Simpson. Into the zone 1-on-3. Simpson in the corner. Dropped it back. Going to miss everybody. And Calgo will grab it in the neutral zone. Near side for Murphy. Ripped back into the zone, but Witkowski slow getting back on side as he was at the end of his shift and looked gassed. Dexheimer brings it back ahead for the Jacks. Up to Katora. Redirected into the zone while the Jacks start a change. Murphy behind his cage. D-to-D in the near corner for Adams. As pass ahead, I think hit a seam in the boards and went out of play. Might have popped up into the Muskegon bench. Harchik, I think, is looking for too many men on the ice. Talking things over with linesman TJ Dockery. Faceoff will be in the neutral zone, but no penalty on Muskegon on the play. First Cons with the faceoff win, but it redirects to Adams for Youngstown. D-to-D to Murphy. Up ahead looking for Zidlichki, but nope, they're going to wave off icing here. One more linesman had his arm up, the other one waved it off. Sanderson has it pop off of him and out of play. 5:07 left in the second period. Face off to the left of Axelson. Controlled by Youngstown as Zidlichki checking the chicklets. Koharchik with it in the right corner. Taken to the boards by Lance. Able to work it over to O'Leary. Now Murphy. His low shot on the cage. Axelson bobbled the rebound but ended up covering. As taken down at the side of the cage is Koharchik. And he's down in some discomfort. And head athletic trainer Amber Martinelli out to check on Matus Kuharchik. See if I can get a look at what happened here on the replay as the stream's about 20 or 30 seconds behind real time, which is useful for my purposes here on the replay. Oh, he took a cross check right to the face from Jack Sullivan. And they are going to, I did just see referee Kyle McCauley call the cross check. And Sullivan is sitting in the penalty box. And that one looked like it hurt. Hope Kuharchik is okay as he's skating off under his own power. I think I saw a double minor for cross-checking indicated. Right now it's just 2 minutes on the board. As Kyle McCauley talking things over with Ryan Ward. And 4th season for Coach Ward. 1 Clark Cup championship banner, 1 Eastern Conference regular season banner, But looking for another one of those banners that ends with confetti and a party at the amphitheater. All right, Phantoms back to the power play. Just 2 minutes to cross-checking for Sullivan. Simpson whips it across to Hextall. Side of the cage. Rosinski couldn't tip it home. Pass had too much steam on it. Right point, McKinnon. Back down the wall to Simpson. Back to McKinnon. Skates the blue line, feeds it back to Simpson. Across Hextall, one-timer! And saved by Axelson. Muskegon will send out a new pair of defenders, Dexheimer and Coring off the bench. In fact, they'll just go for a wholesale change. Christ and Drabicki out to help kill the penalty as well. Face off to the right of Axelson. Face off won by Rusinski. McKinnon over to Hextall, far wall. Hextall poked off his stick by Christ, but he lost his stick, and so could not go off to the races. Simpson back into the zone, but lost it to Coring, and he will send it down the length of the ice. Nikitin over to the near corner to send it quickly around the wall to McKinnon, but it hit his skate instead of his stick, and it's grabbed by Christ. He'll bring it near side. Trades it off to Drabicki. He loses the puck to McKinnon. Halfway home on the power play for Youngstown, 2-0 Muskegon. Jardine chipped it into the zone, got around Dexheimer, then spun off the hit of Coring from his knees, able to feed Rusinski. Into the corner for Hextall. Back to Jardine, back to Hextall. Hexy walks the goal line, back to Jardine. Shot saved by Axelson, and he holds. 46 seconds left on the power play, 3:34 left in the second period. Second power play unit going to cycle on for Youngstown, who had some amazing looks during that second power play. This is the third power play of the game for Youngstown. It'll be Hesh to take the draw against Katora. And Hesh wins that draw to Bukowski. Matty, bottom of the left circle, up the wall to Zidlichki. Center point for Murphy. And then across to Hesh right side. Hesh at the dot. Shot was blocked. Deneau trying to clear. Able to work it to his partner there. That was Sanderson. And sent down on net. Nikitin with the quick up for Zidlichki. 20 seconds left in the power play. Adams into the zone. Spins at the left half. Fed it to Murphy, who walks the blue line. Back to Zidlichki, top of the circle. Center point for Murphy. Over to Hesh in the right circle now. Back center point for Murphy. To Hesh, top of the right circle. Bobbled it. Tried to feed it back. Blocked off by Sanderson, who clears. And now out of the box comes Jack Sullivan. Phantoms are 0 for 3 on the power play. Hesh. Back into the zone. Flies way through a check to Orlowski. Back to Hesh. Trickled on the cage. And Axelson covers. 2:38 left in the second period. Still 2-0 Muskegon. Face off to the right of Axelson, won by Boucher. Back for a shot by O'Leary, just wide of the net. And this one, a pass by Franks, ended up trickling on the blue paint that Axelson threw the trapper on top of. Face off to the left of Axelson. Boucher to take the draw once more. This time against Bergeron. Face off tied up along the near half wall. Novotny looking for it. Rolled to Franks. He lost it. It did trickle to Novotny. Feeds it around and behind the cage for Belushko. Back to Novotny and out to center. Novotny into the zone. Over to Nordra for a shot that was wide of the cage. Settled down in the left corner. Boucher fed it behind the cage to Morin. Floated ahead to Franks. Frank shifted ahead to O'Leary, and he'll crash the cage. Back to Boucher. Shot was blocked. Rebound came to Novotny, who sent it far side for Norger. Red line and blue into the zone with Bergeron. Fired it to the end wall where it's grabbed by Vini. And that one's over the glass and out of play as he tried to rip it around the dasher. Much to the delight of the young fans in front of us. As they throw the puck back on the ice. Boys, this isn't a high school game. You can keep the puck. Face off to the right of Nikitin. One easily by Rusinski. Thompson slid it behind the cage, but the only one there is a Lumberjack. That was Dabrowski. Up to the near half wall, Jardine tangled with Dabrowski. Up to the point, kept by Maroon. Back down below the goal line, but grabbed by Vini and sent over to McKinnon. Out to center for Thompson. Thompson turning on the Jets. Waits for help as he spins in the right circle. Centering feed. Back to Rusinski. His shot was blocked. Rue with his best look at the net all night. Over to the right corner now. Sullivan, and we have a whistle on a hand pass. 1:09 left in the second. 2-0 Muskegon. Neutral zone draw here near side. Hextall to take the face-off against Burscans, and that is controlled by the Jacks. Coring hammering at it. Played it right to Thompson, though. Worked it back into the Muskegon end. Going to be picked up by Lance. He'll bring it behind the cage. And the Jacks will set up the breakout. Near corner for Coring. And bounce out to the neutral zone where it's grabbed by the long stick of JT Vini. Over to Thompson and out to center. Hextall with it. Trying to split two. Spun off the check. Carries back toward the blue line. Drops into the circle for Bukowski. Back to Hextall. Top of the circle. Side of the cage for Vini, the defenseman, in on the play. Cleared over to the wall where Hextall sends it behind the cage to Simpson. Spins away from Coring. But loses the puck to Lance, who sends it off the back skate of Carter Sanderson. Ricochets to Bukowski, who heads to the bench. Simpson with it as we have 8 seconds left in the period. Bounces it down in the Muskegon zone. O'Leary with it. Almost split the two defensemen, bouncing around near the blue line. Vini had it for a moment, but that is how the second period will end. We exit the second as we entered the second, with Muskegon leading by the score of 2-0. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a 5-minute timeout. And when we come back, we will have the second intermission report here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532. Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Discount Power Sports LLC is continuing to grow. They offer ATVs, dirt bikes, go-karts, electric bicycles, while offering off-road power sport repair services. Located at 758 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to the newly renovated Village Tavern. Discount Power Sports LLC also offers financing and accepts all major credit cards. Discount Power Sports LLC. Find them online at discountpowersports.biz. Discount Power Sports LLC, where value meets adventure.
Village Tavern's been a beloved local landmark in Hubbard, Ohio for nearly a century, and now it's better than ever. Recently renovated and still serving up the same warm hospitality, the Village Tavern is your go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a laid-back atmosphere. Whether you're stopping in for dinner, catching up with friends, or just looking to relax, you'll enjoy a full menu of American favorites, rotating drink specials, and friendly service that makes every visit memorable. Be sure to visit the Village Tavern at 746 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to Repair That Glass. To learn more, go to villagetavern3.com. Are you ready to hit the gridiron and make your mark? The Cleveland Cobras are recruiting players and coaches for the upcoming Premier Amateur Football League season. We're looking for passion, grit, and the relentless drive to win. Whether you're a seasoned vet or hungry rookie, your shot starts now. Join a brotherhood, build a legacy, strike with the Cobras. Follow us on Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or for league information, visit TAFLfootball.com to get started today. Team Pride Cobras.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand score! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
What grows in the forest? Trees? Sure. Know what else grows in the forest? Our imagination, our sense of wonder, and our family bonds grow too. Because when we disconnect from this and connect with this, we reconnect with each other and build family memories we will carry with us forever. The forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. It's easy. Just put in your zip code to find family-friendly outdoor destinations near you. You'll also find guides to free activities, games, and amazing forest facts. Give the magic of the outdoors to your kids and reconnect with your family. Find a forest near you at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside Printscape Arena here in Cannonsburg. 2025-2026 preseason opener for the Youngstown Phantoms. They still find themselves down 2-0 to the Muskegon Lumberjacks at the end of the second period. No scoring in that middle frame. So the 2 first period goals for the Jacks holding up right now. Adam Belushko, 19 seconds in from Danny Clares and Rudy Burskans. And then at 15:28, Ethan Drabicki from Jack Christ and Rudy Burskans. Right now, the only 2 dents in the scoreboard. 3 penalties on the game, all 3 against the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Drabicki called for slashing at 15:39 of the first. Drabicki called for tripping at 9:31 of the second. And Jack Sullivan called for cross-checking at 15:12 of the second. And obviously the Phantoms unsuccessful on all three of those power plays. Second power play, probably the best looking one for the Phantoms, as really I felt they had the better of the play there in the second period. A couple of great looks on the net. Mason Stenger hit a post on a rebound try, but just nothing behind Carl Axelson as of yet. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a 5-minute timeout. When we come back, we will take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to the second intermission report here on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio, home of the Youngstown Phantoms, on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Discount Power Sports LLC is continuing to grow. They offer ATVs, dirt bikes, go-karts, electric bicycles, while offering off-road power sport repair services. Located at 758 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to the newly renovated Village Tavern. Discount Power Sports LLC also offers financing and accepts all major credit cards. Discount Power Sports LLC. Find them online at discountpowersports.biz. Discount Power Sports LLC, where value meets adventure.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand score! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside Princecap Arena during the second intermission report. Phantoms still trailing the Lumberjacks by the score of 2-0. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Earlier this afternoon in Sioux City, the Sioux Falls Stampede and the Omaha Lancers got together, and Omaha with the 7-6 win in overtime. Erickson with the hat trick for Sioux Falls. Fargo with the 6-2 win over Tri-City. Madison leads Cedar Rapids 4-1 at the end of the first period. Pair of goals for Ryder and one goal for each of the Grieva brothers for the Capitals. 6 minutes into regulation in Waterloo, and the Blackhawks and the Gamblers are scoreless, getting underway in the next 25 to 30 minutes. Des Moines will be taking on Sioux City, and Chicago will be battling Dubuque. Over to the high school football scoreboard. Austintown Fitch with a 7-0 lead over Erie. South Range leads Barberton 7-0. Boardman and Cheney tied at 7. Camel Memorial and Champion tied at 7. Cardinal Mooney and Canfield tied at 7. Western Reserve leads Columbiana 7-6. Mineral Ridge up 16-6 on Conneaut. Crestview leads United 7-0. East leads Clearview 14-0. Bridgeport leads East Palestine 6-0. Edison up 14-0 over Southern Local. Poland all over field 22-0 in the first quarter. Girard and Edgewood tied at 7 in the second. LeBray up 8-0 over Lowellville. Howland leads Marlington 7-0. Maslin Perry with a 6-0 lead on Warren Harding. McDonald leads Grand Valley 13-0. Niles up 13-0 over Ravenna. Salem leads East Liverpool 21-0. Brookfield up 14-7 over Sharpsville. Garfield leads Springfield 14-0. St. Clairsville up 10-0 on Beaver Local. Toronto crushing Wellsville 30-0 in the second. Hubbard leads University Prep 3-0 at the end of the first. Pie Valley and Valley Christian are scoreless. West Branch up 7-0 over Struthers, and Jackson Milton leads Wyndham 7-0. With 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second intermission, that will do it for our second intermission report. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, third period action between the Muskegon Lumberjacks and Youngstown Phantoms here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Passion, talent, development. NCAA hockey offers all that, and its players graduate at a 90% rate. Joe Pavelski.
Backhand score! Wow, what a goal!
Johnny Gaudreau. And Torrey Krug were stars on campus before the NHL stage. Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey. Visit collegehockeyinc.com and follow @collegehockey.
Champions of the college hockey world!
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside Printscape Arena for the start of the third period. Muskegon with the 2-0 lead. First period goals for Adam Belusko and Ethan Drabicki still holding up for the reigning Clark Cup champs. Again, thank you for tuning in with us here on a Friday night. Was quite the production to get everything down here to Canonsburg to get this on the air. So big shout out to Kelsey Morton, Vice President of the Phantoms, to help get us on the air here this weekend. And I'm not saying that because she's standing right next to me. She really did an amazing job doing all of the things, and I do mean all of the things, especially things that are definitely outside of her job description. Kelsey says she is adding a new skill set to her resume. Phantoms would love to add a goal to their skill set here. You can roll for initiative. Third period's underway as Rusinski wins the draw. Stenger to Morin, ricochet to McKinnon, redirected into Muskegon zone. Around to the far side, Sanderson worked it down through Belusko, tangles with Rusinski. Back up to the half wall, Stenger worked it back to Jardine. Jards eyes the cage, still eyeing it, shot, scores! Cobra Kai never dies. Evan Jardine, his first of the preseason, gets the Phantoms on the board. Time of the goal, 25 seconds of the third period. And you just cannot give a goal scorer of Evan Jardine's caliber that kind of time and space, because he will make you pay most of the time. Great work by Rusinski along the boards, as it'll be Jardine from Stenger and Rusinski to get Youngstown on the board. Cuts the Muskegon lead in half, and of course still lots of hockey here to play as Bukowski sweeps it out to center. Back in his own zone, it's Deneau being leaned on by Bukowski, turned it over in the corner. Back up to the line it goes. Line was kept by Adams, but pass was in Hextall's skates, and now he can't touch it because it popped over the line. They'll have to come back onside. Phantoms touch up as it's sent out to center to Zemaitis. Into the zone came Bergeron, sent it below the goal line, has Zemaitis there with him, but taken away by Hextall. Hextall up the wall, was looking for Arlovsky. Novotny got a stick on it. No, he did not. And so Youngstown will be guilty of an icing whistle. 18:30 left in the third. And Muskegon's lead has been cut in half. Phantoms now trail just 2-1. Face off to the right of Nikitin. Face off won by Drabicki, who will do a little jousting with Hextall there in the circle as Murphy clears a loose puck over to Adams. Out to center to Orlovsky. Couldn't get past Lanson into the zone, forced it back out to neutral. Drabicki had it roll off of his twig, and he'll retreat into his own end for it. Orlovsky up, applying some token forecheck pressure. Nice to see Kuharchik back out there and stretch pass into the zone. Centering pass by Katorga, trickle on the cage. As it was just sent into open space by Drabicki, but nobody crashing the weak side for Muskegon. And as it slid to the top of the blue paint, Nikitin out to pounce on it. Face off one cleanly by the Jacks. Shot is blocked as this goes into the right wing corner. Sent up the boards by Dabrowski. Cross corner, bounced out to Belushko. Lost his footing as the puck's loose in the corner. Grabbed by Rusinski. Across to Hamilton, out to Zidlitsky. Zidlitsky leaned off the puck by Clears, loose below the goal line, but grabbed by Muskegon. It'll be Katora to carry up the far side. Katora trying to get around Cowgill. Couldn't do it as he takes him to the wall. Puck behind the cage, Hamilton. Plays it past Zidlitsky, kept at the right point by Maroon. Back around to the far side it comes as Orlovsky got hit hard from behind. And I think if we had two officials, that might have been a boarding call. As it is, Kuharchik looking for an option as Cowgill was retreating. Didn't know the pass was coming to him. Now he'll have to go back and do his own end to play it. Cowgill settles things down behind the cage. And starts to carry ahead. Snap up to the line for O'Leary. Couldn't take it cleanly. Bounces off to Dexheimer below the goal line. Pops up in the air. He'll get it back. Came back to O'Leary, who got shoved down. Puck circled behind the cage to Dexheimer. And he'll set up the break for Muskegon. Dexheimer around the cage to the far side. And then send it up the middle. But this will be icing on the Muskegon Lumberjacks as JT Vini wins the race back down the ice. Face-off back in the Muskegon zone. We'll drop the puck to the right of Axelson. And they're going to change their mind, saying no icing whistle. The puck was deflected. They'll bring the face-off to center, and they're going to let Muskegon make a line change if they want to. I didn't see a deflection, but linesmen are closer to the play than I am. Ash wins the draw. Back to Braden Thompson. D over to Vini. Snapped ahead the line to Boucher, who got hit hard from behind by Lance. Able to pop right back up and get back in action. Back to the point. It is Boucher. Spinning away from Deneau. Fed the corner for O'Leary. Ducked around his man. Walked into the blue paint, but couldn't stop it home. Went to Boucher, but nobody at the left point. And Vini will back check for it as it comes on net to Nikitin. Played to Thompson as he's tackled down by Norger. Fans looking for a holding call. Nothing coming. Loose puck came to Hesh, trying to step out in front, knocked away from him, but it rolled to Boucher. Touched behind him, back to Hesh. He will bring it to center, to the red line, and then chip it into the Muskegon end. Took a bump from behind by Novotny, and I think the puck went out of play. Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Face-off controlled by the Phantoms. Into the Muskegon zone. In the right circle, it's Simpson. Up to the point to Stenger. D over to Moore. His shot wide of the cage. Bounced off the back of the net. Came to McKinnon. McKinnon. Back around the net to the far side. Right point for Stinger. Center point. Moore. Eyes the cage. Got the shot away. Redirected wide. Trying to clear is Drabicki, and he will with the pass across the ice behind Zemaitis. Did make its way into the Youngstown zone. However, Stinger able to keep it from getting deep for a moment. Drabicki took a dive, and Stinger's going to get called for a trip. And then Christ goes down. Bodies come together near the top of the right circle. And heading to the box, again, is Mason Stinger for the trip. And so Youngstown will head to their first penalty kill of the game. Face-off will be to the right of Nikitin. Muskegon power play, probably one of the big reasons why they won that playoff series in the second round against Youngstown back in the spring. I believe Muskegon power play was over 50% in that series. Bukowski to take the draw, but it is won by the Jacks. And over the right point for Belushko. Back across. Now center point for Clares. Left side for Norringer. Back over to Belushko, top of the right circle. Down into the corner he goes, watched by Zidlichki. Right point for Clares. Across Norringer. One-timer ripped it hard over the net. Bouncing around, Bukowski couldn't clear. But it is sent right to Zidlichki, and he will skate it ahead. Adam, red line in blue into the zone, shifted to the end wall. And then ran into Clares, knocked him off the puck, but it trickled right to Belushko. Dropped it back for Norringer, just able to make it to Novotny with Zidlichki lurking. Bergeron, centering feed into the slot, bounced to Norringer. Missed a couple of phantom sticks on clearing attempts. Clares, center point. Over to Novotny, left half wall. Back to Norringer, top of the circle. Now Clares, center point. To Norringer, skate to stick, side of the net for Novotny. Back to Norringer, center point, Clares. Novotny, one-timer, right to the chest of Nikitin, who holds. .13:51 left in the third period. Muskegon leads 2-1. 55 seconds left on the tripping call to Mason Stinger. Great work there by Owen Boucher. Muskegon won the faceoff, but able to fight his way through a couple of checks and get the clear. Dexheimer brings it through center, drops it back. Into the zone comes Sullivan. Spun away from Boucher, but lost the puck to Hesh, and he'll send it down to the Muskegon end. Dexheimer has to hustle back for it. Dexheimer to the red line, dropped it back, just missed the stick of Hesh. It went to Sullivan, then cross over to Benson. Worked his way into the zone through the check of Carter Murphy. Flipped it around the kick plate, comes to the far side. Boucher got there first, but couldn't do anything with it. He got triple teamed. Down below the goal line it goes. They work it to Benson. Hesh takes him to the boards. It comes to Boucher, who gets the clear. And now out of the box comes Mason Stinger. Phantoms back to full strength. In the neutral zone, it was Adams. His pass ahead ricocheted back to Murphy. Ahead looking for Rusinski, played back to center by Muskegon. They made it, battling in front of the benches, lost it to Murphy, who feeds McKinnon. Malachi Into the zone, around the kick plate it went. Couldn't get to Rusinski on the near side. Sent back out to center. Grabbed by Jardine to Adams to McKinnon. Backhands it into the Muskegon end. Behind the net it goes. Lance around the wall over to Zemaitis. Stolen by Jardine. Centering feed was looking for Rusinski. Bounced off him to Thompson, who couldn't hold the zone. Now dropped back to Vini. Fanned on the pass and rolled to Zemaitis, but then Vini put him into the Phantoms bench. Christ lost the puck to Thompson, worked it to Jardine, now behind the cage to Rusinski. Back around over to Jards. Ahead looking for Thompson, took a little slash from Zemaitis. Phantoms bench looking for a call, but nothing coming. Zemaitis got the slash right on the hands of Braden Thompson. And here from the seat of his pants, Thompson knocked down, couldn't clear, but losing the puck was Maroon as it rolled into the corner. Got bodied up by Stenger. Maroon back to his feet, trying to fight through that check. Puck pop free of the scrum, and it'll roll to Bukowski. Matty just going to lift it out to the safety of center. Not enough steam for icing. Fans quickly to the line change. Snapped ahead by Belushko. Worked it over to Maroon, who chipped it to the end wall while Muskegon starts a line change. Top line back out for the Jacks. 11 minutes left in the third. Fans trailed by a goal. Ahead comes Hextall 3-on-2 if they hurry. Hextall to Simpson. Toe drag shot off the mask of Axelson, but nobody there for the rebound for Youngstown. Played ahead to Bergeron. Bumped off his line by Morin and lost the puck. Did roll to Norger. Then in front looking for Bergeron on the redirect. It wouldn't go. Simpson being hounded by Novotny. Lost the puck. Across over to Norger. They score. Cooper Simpson tried going up the middle. Turned it over. And that quickly ended up from Novotny to Norger, who whacked the one-timer past Nikitin. There's absolutely nothing Vladimir Nikitin's going to do on that one. And Muskegon leads 3-1. Time of the goal, 9:20. Face-off won by Berskans. To Lance, to Coring in their own end, back to center for Sanderson. Banked ahead, picked off by Calgill, knocked down by Orlowski, but they're going to save with a high stick. And there's absolutely no way that puck was above the shoulders of Jesse Orlowski. And the linesman let referee Kyle McCauley know that you saw that one very poorly, and they're going to drop the puck at center instead of the Youngstown zone. Tarkic wins the faceoff and bumps it back to Calgill. DG over to Hamilton. Jack back to Calgill. And then back to Hamilton at the red line. He'll turn and tried to fire it in the zone, but it hit the ankles of Zidlichki. And ricochet to the Jacks. That's scoring in his own end now. Around the cage he goes and sends it off the ankles of Sanderson, where it bounces to Calgill at the red line. Collegeville, PA native, works it over to Kaharchik, but couldn't deke around Lance. Line was held by Zidlichki. Coring left it the side of the cage for Berskans. Benson tried to clear, couldn't do so, came to Zilichki. Fed it behind the cage, but Kaharchik was wedged off by Coring and the puck out to center. Skated into by Lance, gained the red line and fired into the Youngstown zone. Too much steam on it for Nikitin to slow it down as it came all the way back out to center. Back into the zone come the Jacks. It's Chris with a shot on the cage, kicked out by Nikitin. Orlowski to the rebound, checked down from behind, and then fed ahead to Franks. Franks danced around his man, but couldn't get a move on Axelson. Caught up to it on the far side, but double-teamed, and Chris away with the puck. Off the ankle of Drabicki it came. Hesh into the zone. Hesh shot off the stick of Axelson and into the meshing. Great shift there for Franks and Hesh. Face off to the right of Axelson. And full start there by Hesh. He's going to get kicked out of the circle. Brian Franks will step in to take the draw. Won it to O'Leary, who got pushed down by Danny Clares. Puck stays in the zone, though. Franks bumps it Licky off the puck, but Murphy pulled it out to center. Franks back to it to Hesh, but they couldn't enter the zone onside. Drop back to Adams, now to Murphy, and ahead to Franks. Franks threw the big hit as Clares tried to line him up, and Franks said, I don't think so. Puck in the right corner of the Muskegon end. 8:40 left in the third. Phantoms trail by a pair. Youngstown works it free. They got it to McKinnon. Kubakovsky across to Murphy. Murphy's shot off the stick of Axelson. Stayed in play. Adams missed the pinch, but was kept by McKinnon. Spun it to the near corner. O'Leary battling for it there, but pinned to the boards by Clares, and Belusto grabbed the loose puck. Banked it ahead looking for Chris Nikitin. Out of the cage and played it away from Chris. And Chris is offside. Muskegon couldn't have scored if they wanted to. Great read there by Nikitin. Dexheimer out to center is looking for Dabrowski, but couldn't get a touch, and icing will be called on the Muskegon Lumberjacks with 8 minutes left in the third period, and the Phantoms trail by a pair. Face-off will be to the left of Axelson. It'll be Rusinski to take the draw, flanked by McKinnon and Jardine, Phantoms goal scorer. And Rusinski won the draw. Stenger, D-to-D over to Morin. Floated left, got the shot on the net, right to the glove of Axelson, and just before Rusinski could get the stick in there, looking for a redirect. Face-off will be to the right of Axelson this time. Rusinski to take the draw against Dabrowski once more. Dabrowski will win this draw. Dexheimer working against McKinnon, turned it over. McKinnon, sharp angle shot, came in front. Rusinski fanned on it, and we have a whistle. I think the net was off its peg, so we're going to deny Muskegon a line change here and keep the puck in the Lumberjack zone. Rusinski won the draw. Morin over to Stenger, but the pass was offline and out to center. Heavy pressure by Katora there on Stenger, but able to work it back over to Morin. Now Rusinski. Brew into the zone, double team, lost the puck, back to the line, kept by Morin. Down to the half wall to Jardine, back to Morin. Half slapper, saved by Axelson, and he will cover as a Phantom gets tackled into the cage. That was Malachi McKinnon, as he and Barrett Dexheimer are separated by the linesman. Those two will be seeing a lot of each other, not only this season, but in the future. Dexheimer going to UMass. McKinnon committed to Maine. So lots of Hockey East battles in their future. Bergeron going to be kicked out of the circle against Bukowski. And stepping in to take the draw will be Melvin Novotny. Bukowski wins the draw. Hextall with it, left circle. Cut to the middle, got the shot away, but it was redirected wide by a Muskegon stick. Thompson held the line. Down the wall to Simpson, and then Hextall. Behind the cage, floated at left point for Hamilton. Jack eyes the cage, got the shot away, was blocked along the way. Novotny knocked down the rebound and backhanded it softly out to center. Hamilton stops it up right there at the blue line, using that big frame to fend off Norriger. Cross-checking him in the kidneys. Play continues. Simpson with the steal. Behind him to Hextall. Couldn't get the shot away. Nice defense there by Lance. Good stick as Hextall pinned to the boards by Deneau. Simpson with it. Spins off the check of Bergeron. Still has it behind the cage. In front to Hextall. Couldn't get the backhander away. Came out to the point. Kept by Thompson. Down the wall it went, but Bergeron able to kick it out to center. Ahead for Novotny from the blue line. He got it on the net. Blockered away easily by Nikitin. Out the center it goes. Hextall with it. This line's been out here for a while. As Hamilton will retreat into his own zone, and I can see the Phantoms starting a line change. Zidlichki with it. Over to Hextall. Took a big punch from Carter Sanderson, but Jack bounces right back up, and I think that's maybe Jack's sign that it's time to get to the bench for a change, except now on the attack come the Lumberjacks, so Hextall has to stay on the ice. In the quarter, it was Sanderson. Tried to feed it up to the point that was shut off by Zidlichki and bounced it out to center, sent right back in by the Jacks. Murphy whipped down by Bergkamp. Play continues as Hextall throws another check, got the puck to Calgill, and now Hextall finally to the bench. Boucher in the slot, shot, missed the cage as went whistling past the right shoulder of Carl Axelson. The left point kept by Kaharchi. Down in the left corner, but Dexheimer got there first, and he will leave it there for Drabicki. Out the center for Benson to the Youngstown line. Drabicki able to check it in, but they were offside. Puck settled down for Boucher as Muskegon touches up. Got it over to Murphy. Snapped ahead to center for Zidlichki. Dropped it back, looking for a trailer. Skating into it was Orlovsky. Left it for Kaharchi. Orlovsky with it again. Dropped back to the point for Adams. Adams low shot right to the belly of Axelson, who holds. And Matusz Kuharczyk helped away from the Muskegon netminder by a pair of Lumberjacks. So you can hear Kyle McCauley having a little bit of fun there with his whistle. As finally Kuharczyk and Zomatis separated. Faceoff will stay in the Muskegon end. They're going to drop the puck to the left of Axelson, who has allowed just the one goal here tonight. He's played the whole way for Muskegon. Vladimir Nikitin came on with about 11 minutes left in the second, and he's allowed just the one goal. Muskegon wins the defensive zone faceoff. Sent toward the line, kept by Adams for a moment before it ricocheted to Katora. Played over to Lance into the Youngstown end down the right side. Center feed redirected just wide by Maroon. Puck came to Hextall, played behind him to Bukowski. Matty lifts it down the ice, and this will be icing on Youngstown as Bukowski was still about 6 feet short of center red. Face off to the right of Nikitin. Won by the Jacks, but before Norger could get a shot away, knocked off his stick and cleared by Youngstown. Thought that it at least went off the stick of Sullivan at center, but we're going to say no touch. And icing will be called on Youngstown once again. Face off to the right of Nikitin, won by the Phantoms, but Adams had his stick tied up, and the Jacks played back to the point for Belushko, and his shot is right to the glove of Nikitin, who holds as Novotny and Hextall need to be separated. You know, Jack Hextall has that snarl to his game. He is afraid of absolutely no man out there on the ice as we have 4:10 left in regulation. The Phantoms trail by a pair. Hesh to take the draw against Bergeron to the right of Nikitin. Face-off won by Hesh, sent up the wall by Calgo. Orlovsky was tangled with the man and couldn't clear. I believe that is Drabicki over there. And now it does come to Hesh at the line, and he'll carry ahead 1-on-3. Hesh Plays it to the end wall. Trying to work his way around his man, but the puck came to Clares, who will try the far side. Calgill pinching in, trying to keep it alive. Puck comes to Bergeron, however, and then played ahead to Norger. Norger shot, redirected wide by Stinger. Belushko pinched in on the play, trying to keep it alive, but the puck came to Heshu. Sent it down ice, looking for Orlovsky. Too far ahead of him, and it's played ahead by Clares, but his pass looking for Novotny, well offline. And that from his seat, and then a split shot from the point, and they score. Ryan Franks doing the dirty work down low and then ripping it home from up top. Braden Thompson. You can get that cat off my chair. With 3:21 left in regulation, Phantoms just trail by a goal. As our officials huddling in the crease, I didn't see any. Oh, I'm going to get a look here on the replay. See if there was any goaltender interference. If it was onside, there was a big, massive humanity there at the edge of the blue paint. As Jesse Orlovsky was tangled with a member of the Muskegon Defense Corps. And they're going to keep it with a good goal. So Braden Thompson with the marker. And Youngstown back to within a goal. And the time of that goal, 16:39. Youngstown wins the draw. Hamilton out to the red line, was looking for McKinnon, taken away by Benson and sent into the Youngstown end. Nikitin out to play it up the near wall. Jardine ricocheted it toward the point as this one trickles back toward the blue paint. Edge of the blue paint it comes, and unable to stuff it home where the Jackson end here. It's Benson with a backhander on the cage. That's blockered away by Nikitin. Dangerous sequence there for Youngstown. As Rusinski pressured by Sanderson, but there to help out his centerman is Braden Thompson, the goal scorer. Back to Rusinski, out to center. McKinnon redirects it into the Muskegon zone. First one to it is Deneau. Will start, stop, and works it over to Dexheimer in the near corner. Eye off the glass. It stays in the zone. Ricocheted off a couple of ankles before it came to Drabicki. Blazing his way up the near wall, forces it into the Youngstown end. It rolled to Murphy. Murphy to center. Jardine touched ahead to Rusinski, but he's immediately jumped on by Zemaitis. Left it there, but grabbed by Poring and sent out to center. Christ tangled with a man, and now it's a 2-on-1. And trying to redirect it home was Drabicki off the pass by Christ. It would not go. Christ now behind the cage. Send it back behind the net. Looking for Zemaitis on the cycle. Works it to Drabicki in the left corner. Touched off the puck and grabbed by Murphy. Cross-ice feed to O'Leary. And out to center for Zilichki. Back into the zone come the Jacks as it's sent around the wall by Christ. Grabbed there by Murphy. 1:45 left in regulation. Phantoms trail by a goal. O'Leary fanned on his shot and loose puck picked up by Novotny. Over to Coring, then out to center for Zemaitis. Grabbed at the red line by Stinger and fired right back into the Muskegon zone. Nikitin checking to see if he wants to go to the bench. He was 3/4 of the way to the bench before he was waved back to the net by Ryan Ward. Forger into the zone with a shot off the shoulder of Nikitin. And into the meshing with 82 seconds left in regulation. Defensive zone draw coming for Youngstown. Win the draw, get it deep. Try to get Nikitin to the bench for the extra attacker. Faceoff will be to the left of Vladimir Nikitin. Faceoff won by Youngstown. Calgill to Stenger. Over to Bukowski. Lifted out to center for Simpson. Skate to stick and back to Stenger. Defenseman up on the play as Nikitin is on the bench. With 1:05 left in regulation, Phantoms trailed by a goal. In the right corner, Jacks play it to the point, kept by Stinger. Down the wall to Bukowski. Matty lost it into the skates of a man, and the Jacks play it to the line. Novotny eyes the empty cage. He fires it off the post. Loose puck grab by Bukowski. Good hustle down ice by Calgill. Out to the red line for McKinnon. Behind him to Simpson. Simpson left circle, shot blocked by Danny Clares. Puck is underneath him, and he turtles. Referee blows the whistle. 34 seconds left in the third. Will Ryan Ward use his timeout? Yes, he will. We will take it with him. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Back inside Printscape Arena here in Cannonsburg. 34 seconds left in regulation. Phantoms trail by a goal. The net is empty. Face off to the left of Carl Axelson. Rusinski to take the draw. A little bit of a false start by everybody there. Nobody's getting kicked out of the circle. It's Rusinski against Burscons in the circle. Phantoms control the draw. Whacked into the slot. Puck bouncing around and then poked out to center by Katora. Back for it was McKinnon to Hextall to Murphy. Carter into the zone. Double team. Worked the puck over to Simpson. To Jardine to Hextall. Jardine, Hextall. Jardine left circle. Hextall, side of the cage. Rusinski centering feed just past the stick of Jardine. Maroon ices the puck. And with half a second left in regulation, the icing whistle blows as that puck just went past the stick of Jardine in the slot. The very low slot off the backing into the net by Ryan Rusinski. We've seen them work that play on the power play. Unfortunately for the Phantoms, this one did not go unless Ryan Rusinski can get this in the cage off a face-off win. As Rusinski tried to shoot it off the face-off, but that will do it as Hextall shot the puck after the whistle, and that's going to draw a big crowd. And also shooting the puck after the whistle is Carl Axelson, looking for the empty net. But we have had our final buzzer, your final score here tonight. Muskegon 3 and Youngstown 2 in the preseason opener. We'll keep it right here, and we will just roll right into the post-game show. Muskegon opened the scoring just 19 seconds into regulation. It was Adam Belushko. His first of the playoffs, Danny Clares and Rudy Burscans with the assists. Then at 15:28 was Ethan Trubicki, his first of the preseason. Jack Christ and Rudy Burscans with the helpers. 2-0 Muskegon at the end of the first. No scoring in the second period, although Youngstown really dominated that middle frame. Just amazing performance there in the second by Youngstown. Through the kitchen sink at the net, just couldn't get anything past Carl Axelson. It took until the third period, 25 seconds in, it was Evan Jardine lighting the lamp for the first time for the Phantoms here in the preseason. I believe it was Mason Stinger and Ryan Rusinski on the assist, as they weren't able to get any into the score sheet just yet. Cut the Muskegon lead to 2-1. Then at 9:20, it was Victor Noringer off a steal by Melvin Novotny. Quick one-timer that beat Nikitin from in tight. and that made it 3-1 Muskegon. Braden Thompson got Youngstown back within a goal at 16:39, but unfortunately, that is all the Phantoms were able to muster here on this night as they fall in their preseason opener. The Keaton's going to take the loss. Right now on the score sheet, it says he stopped 5 out of 6. Trable started for Youngstown. He stopped 8 out of 10. Carl Axelson officially stopping at 19 out of 21. Phantoms were 0 for 3 on the power play. Muskegon was 0 for 1. We're going to do it again tomorrow. These two teams are going to face off here at Princescape Arena at 3 p.m. So you can join us for the pregame show starting at 2:45. For my engineer, Dave Ferris, back in Youngstown, and for Brendan Miller, who kept things up to date on social media for us, I am Voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack. Thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. One more time, your final score, Muskegon 3 and Youngstown 2. We will catch you here at Princescape tomorrow afternoon. Sound out. Fade to black.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.